Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, so welcome back to What the Hemp Wednesday. I'm Derek. This is Cherry Blossom CBD, and we are bringing you hemp news from around the country and around the world. Let's start with the world. So, the European Union, actually, the European Industrial Hemp Association, has been campaigning to increase the CBD limit from zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3, like it is here in the United States. And that has finally happened. Last month, European lawmakers finalized work on raising the THC limit in hemp crops from 0.2% to 0.3%. That further aligns the EU's THC limit with what we have going on here in the United States and Canada, and really opens up a whole bunch of opportunities for, we call us, I guess we're all Western world countries, but countries across the pond here in the United States and Canada to start doing more business with companies in the EU. So that is really, really fantastic news. Actually, the European Industrial Hemp Association president, Daniel Cruz, said he's been fighting for this moment for over a decade, but added that the 0.3 threshold is still pretty low. Increasing the THC limit at all, however, is a positive small step in the right direction, indicating that EU lawmakers are closer to fully acknowledging and recognizing the existence of a legitimate European hemp sector. That is fantastic news. Congratulations to the European Union. All right, let's get on down to Texas. So we talked a couple months ago about how a Texas lawmaker, Texas lawmaker, a judge, thank you, Texas judge, basically had said that no, that the Delta-8 is going to be illegal in Texas. That was coming from a fight with, I forgot what the company's name, Hometown Hero CBD, and basically they have reversed this. The Supreme Court of Texas declined to hear a case involving the legality of hemp and hemp-derived Delta-8 THC products. The request was made by the Texas Department of State Health Services, DSHS, in a legal battle against Hometown Hero CBD. But denial by the court comes a little over a month after the Travis County judge temporarily blocked the state from listing Delta-8 THC as a Schedule I narcotic. In October, DSHS has declared Delta-8 a controlled substance despite having no regulatory authority to do so. Jay McGuire, he's the head of the Texas Hemp Confederation, said the Supreme Court decision was not to consider the case as another legal victory that underscores what Texans already know, that Delta-8 is basically here to stay, or beneficial hemp-derived cannabinoids, as he put it. I kind of ad-libbed on that. Is here to stay. His lawyer says that he was pleased to see the state's highest court recognize a disingenuous attempt to make Delta-8 illegal when it denied the state's writ of mandamus. The ham-fisted attempt to make criminals out of veterans who use Delta-8 instead of opioids is just wrong for Texas, he said in a statement. So for now, we'll keep our eye on that. But Delta-8 is basically allowed in Texas, and we'll see where that goes. Okay, so we also talked about, it's like follow-up day, so we also talked a couple months ago about Curaleaf, and Curaleaf had a label mix-up. They put CBD labels on products that really had THC in it. So, and they sold them, and now they're being sued by several people. And now we're added to that suit as part of the fallout, a wrongful death lawsuit. I think this happened in Oregon. This was filed. This is the 10th lawsuit overall. And the case was brought on by a family of Earl Jacob. That's Jacob with an E, Jacobe. I've never seen that, but Mr. Jacob was 78. He was of Idaho, along with his wife, consumed mislabeled products in late August. This led to an emergency room visit, and where Jacob would take 2 more trips to the hospital. And all this time, I guess he said he had some stroke symptoms during his emergency room visit. His family believes that the series of events was triggered by the consumption of large amounts of THC in the mislabeled Curaleaf. So, and what are they saying? And they are saying that it brought him to the point where he was essentially comatose, and then he succumbed to an unrelated COVID-19 disease several weeks later. Mr. Michael Fuller, the attorney for the family, says that his clients experienced confusion, dizziness, thoughts of death, and psychosis after taking these products. So that's an interesting turn, and that is really kind of an interesting perspective we'll see how that works out. I don't know if they're going to say that his symptoms were caused by these faulty products, or that maybe somehow COVID really caused his death. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So we got a couple little tidbits of information. Virginia activists on last Thursday kicked off a statewide campaign to decriminalize a broad a range of basically mushrooms and other psychedelics. So the push for psychedelics reform in the Commonwealth has garnered support from at least 2 state lawmakers. Keep an eye on that. New data shows federal prosecutions for cannabis trafficking and possession continue to decline in 2021. Meanwhile, fentanyl cases have exploded as the potent synthetic opioid surpassed weed and crack cocaine to become the fourth most prosecuted drug. It's very interesting for the United States. I don't really know what to think about that. New York Senate bill introduced Friday would allow the state licensed cannabis operators to deduct some business expenses. Since the 1980s, an obscure federal law known as 280E has prevented cannabis businesses from writing off operating expenses, leading to exorbitant high tax rates for people in the industry. I did not even know that New York had a cannabis business or industry in the 1980s. So that is, we'll have to look into that. My gosh, that's pretty interesting. In our home state, in Maryland, a multi-state cannabis operators now control close to 40% of dispensary licenses. That are people who are big companies who probably have nothing to do with Maryland at all, are here owning almost half dispensaries. And nearly half of cultivation and processing licenses. So that's a good look for our state right there. I don't know. We love our governor. We love Larry Hogan. He's a great guy. But it doesn't really seem like, as far as cannabis goes, you're really, really out for the people of the state, the businesses of the state, the business men and women of the state. I don't know. It just seems like it's all up for sale. Everything's like a bidding war. And if you're somewhere else, if you're like some, Peruvian company or something, and you got enough money, come on in, set up shop in Maryland. Forget the people who actually work here and pay taxes here. So I don't know. That's my perspective on it. Is it biased? Hell yeah, it is. So either way, a new medical cannabis education center is opened its doors last week in Huntington, West Virginia, and hopes to teach people about alternative forms of pain relief in a community hard hit by the opioid crisis. Industry experts say that the Mountain State is on the verge of a medical cannabis boom. So we'll see how that all works out. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Our news was brought to you by, I will say, and usually we can be really good about mentioning our sources, but so we are today. The Outlaw Report, that's outlawreport.com, Ganjapreneur, and the Hemp Industry Daily. So thank you for those sources. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next week. As always, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Comment. Put your comments in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you next week for some more hemp news. Have a great week. It's almost Christmas. The year is almost over. I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but it's coming whether we want it to or not. So we'll see you soon. Thank you and have a great day.